watching News at Prime. Let's bring you this now. The Democratic Alliance says it will lay criminal charges against former Gauteng Health Chief Financial Officer Lerato Madyo tomorrow. The party says she failed in her duty to act on slain whistleblower Babita Deokaran's claims of fraudulent tenders at Tembisa Hospital, which has now ballooned to over 2 billion rand. Let's speak to the Democratic Alliance's Gauteng Health spokesperson, Madeleine Hickling, who joins us from Johannesburg. Good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time. Let's start with your reasoning for laying, or at least intending to lay, criminal charges against someone who's already left the department. Is there a case still, you believe?
Good evening, Colleen. Good evening to all the viewers. Yes, indeed, there's very definitely a case against her. You need to understand that she led Babita Deokaran, and she led her into a false sense of security, because we have evidence from Babita Deokaran's phone where 19 days before she was murdered, she sent the CFO a message, and I will read it to you, that says, "Good morning, CFO. I'm worried that the guys in Tembisa are going to realize we're onto something. Our lives could be in danger." And Madyo initially froze the 104 million rand in payments that were suspicious, the initial payments that Babita Deokaran had alerted her to, and said to her, "Don't worry, I'm busy dealing with it. We will freeze the payments. You don't have anything to worry about. We're going to launch an investigation." And that was just 19 days before Babita Deokaran was assassinated. So she let her believe that there was going to be an investigation, and then didn't really launch the investigation at all. So she led her down a path thinking that she was going to be safe and that her investigation was in safe hands.
How far down the line do you believe that Madyo is, or at least could have gone, to protect Babita Deokaran?
I think she could have gone a lot further than she did, for the simple reason that she led her to believe that there was an intensive investigation that was going to go to be done, when in fact she only did a sample investigation of 18 or so of the hundreds of transactions that were being investigated. This has been revealed by the SIU investigation, and did nothing to actually stop any of the payments. Once she had got Babita Deokaran to calm down and to back off, she then released all the payments that she said she was not going to release. And so Babita Deokaran thought that there was action being taken against the suspicious companies and against the suspicious officials, not thinking, of course, she was being set up.
Babita Deokaran would not have been known to the people that wanted her dead. All I'm trying to ask you now is, do you believe in any way, shape or form that the former CFO could have had a hand in her name being released to those that were obviously looting the Tembisa Hospital, or is that too far-fetched?
I don't believe it's far-fetched at all, sadly. I think she had a direct interest in keeping herself, the CEO of the hospital, safe, and the other officials safe. If you can recall, Lerato Madyo was suspended on the 26th of August 2022. And she was suspended on full pay because of her potential involvement. She was allowed to resign a year later, having collected 3 million rand and her full pension. So she was very much on the radar. and she needed to make sure that anyone who could have blown the whistle and revealed just how involved she was had to be silenced. And I would be very, very hard pressed to say that she kept quiet.
You say she was allowed to resign and therefore cashing in on her pension as well.
Oh, indeed.
Do you
She
believe?
still kept it.
Yeah. Do you believe that this is a blight on the administration of Premier Panyaza Lesufi?
Without question. Without question. And unfortunately, the blight on the Premier doesn't stop with just this particular case. And I think we need to understand that what the Democratic Alliance is actually calling for is a full forensic investigation into the entire health department. Because this incident involving Tembisa and being revealed by the murder and assassination of Babita Deokaran has just highlighted how badly the rot goes. Yesterday's suspension of the HOD of Health, Lesiba Malutana, is further evidence that the rot in the Gauteng Department of Health is extensive. In August of this year, my colleague, Dr. Jack Bloom, asked the Premier in question time whether the lifestyle audit into the HOD had been finalized. And the Premier's response was, I am not accountable to the Democratic Alliance. I am only answerable to the ANC. And he's actually wrong. He's answerable to the citizens of Gauteng. And that is where the problem lies. The Premier himself believes he is answerable to the ANC and not to the citizens of this province. And that is where the problem is.
Some people will be wondering, as a final question to you, they'll be wondering, why now? Why on the back of this 2 billion rand loot that we now know of, on the back of the SIU investigations into the Tembisa rot? The cynics will say you're trying to capitalize, politically so, on what is already in the public domain. Why didn't you do this much earlier?
I don't believe that we're trying to capitalize on stuff that was in the public domain. I think the time is right now, because the SIU investigation has now been extended further back in time and is only going to be complete in 2027. We cannot wait that long for justice for Babita Deokaran. We have to make sure that justice is done now, because it hasn't been done up until now. And one of the key figures in getting justice for Babita Deokaran is Lerato Madyo. And you have to accept that if you look at the facts that we will be presenting on the charge sheet that we lay tomorrow.
Thank you very much for your time, Madeleine Hickling, talking to us tonight. She is the Democratic Alliance's Gauteng Health spokesperson, and the mission tomorrow is to go to a police station. While I have you, Madeleine, before I let you go very quickly, perhaps this is very, very important just for colleagues to know exactly where to go. Which police station are you going to do this?
It's the Johannesburg Central Police Station at 1 Commissioner Street. Media is invited. We will be there at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Thank you once again for that information, Madeleine Hickling, the DA's Gauteng Health spokesperson.